Welcome to the Dynasty YT. This is your King Shay speaking. Welcome back to another episode of my placement matches. This is going to be game 5 out of 10, and I'm going to be playing GNAR again because GNAR is absolutely a beast, right? So we're going to be playing GNAR top lane against a Teemo. Now, I wasn't really too afraid of the Teemo. Since he has Ignite, I just needed to be careful, like level 1 to 5 when I'm kind of squishy. But then once I get like a little bit of MR, because their team is pretty MR heavy, once I get a little bit of MR, then I should be fine after that. I'm going to do this video like I did the first video of my placement matches. Instead of just going through the whole game, I'm just going to do like the highlights and lowlights of the game. So obviously in the very beginning, it was kind of scary because this Fizz was kind of AFK up until the point where the minion didn't spawn. And then so he came back. Teemo tries to cheese me at level 1. But then good thing that, GNAR, he can actually dish damage back at level 1 at least. So coming up right here, it's going to be Jarvan coming up for a gank right here. And it wasn't too successful because, for one, he tries to gank while I have to run through minions and I'm kind of low. He misses his EQ combo and then Teemo just flash ignites and then autos me. So it was kind of a mistake. He should have waited for the because there are no wards. He should have just waited for me to push out my lane and then be able to go back in, or at least the minions to be aggro to the tower, because I had to run through minions and then I ended up dying for it. Coming up, it's going to be the first kind of action that happens at top lane. And Teemo, for some reason, decides to run past the minion line and then try to attack me. But he doesn't respect the fact that I'm basically about to change to Big GNAR. So then I ended up just using the basic combo of jumping him, hitting him into the wall, stunning him for days with both the ult and the W, and then just killing him straight up. Just a few minutes later, it's kind of the same situation. I'm about to change into Big GNAR, but this time Teemo respects it and then he backs off while I'm trying to change to Big GNAR. Once again, he decides to go aggressive on me, but I guess for some reason he thought I was on cooldowns. And right here, I just get completely outplayed. I missed everything. I missed my W initially because he walked out of it. I missed my ult because I ended up ulting the wrong way or something, and I just get completely outplayed. So at this moment, I tell my team, like I can... This is so pointless for me to keep on continuing fighting Teemo. We have a really good team fight with our Narvin combo, and then obviously the Fizz and the Lucian's actually pretty strong right here. So I tell my teammate we need to start grouping and doing something as a team because we have an amazing team fight ability. Moving on to later in the game, the score has changed just a little bit. There was just a bunch of random kills top lane, and then that didn't really lead to anything. So again, I tell my teammate we should start grouping and then start making plays. I tell him that I have teleport, so then I can come in at any time into the team fight. And our team slightly overextends for some reason. I don't know why Sejuani didn't straight up engage right there. And then luckily right here, everything misses. Like literally the Sona ult and the Sejuani ult, everything misses. So Fizz goes in hard, and at this moment, I don't want to give up at the time because I'm so close into changing to Big GNAR that I have to get into it. And I get an amazing transformation right into their backline, hit him into the wall, get the 4-second stun or whatever it is, something stupidly absurd, and then Jinx is recalling back onto a ward and we end up killing her as well. So just overall, that team fight, like, it was good on Fizz's part to really distract the other team, and then obviously because the other team basically missed their important ults. But it was also very important that I stuck in the fight, kept auto-attacking, and then was able to transform into Big GNAR and then make some big plays. This is right after the big plays at the mid lane and then taking their mid tower. Dragon's about to spawn and we want to get dragon control. But then for some reason Lucian decides to go farm bot lane. And then we have an amazing opportunity right here that Swain doesn't have any vision of this. So then we get an amazing pick. If Lucian was literally right here, he was one auto attack away. All he would needed to do is be there and auto attack, right? Then they ended up chasing for far too long. Lucian still decides that he needs to start farming, and then we ended up losing the fight and then losing dragon control. So basically, just because he wasn't there for one auto attack, we ended up losing this team fight and we ended up losing dragon control. There's another fight a couple minutes later at Dragon, but for some reason I don't know why there's a fight. I guess it's a fight for Vision or something, but Dragon's not about to spawn in another 2 minutes. And here is basically the team just basically getting split. Like Swain thinks that the fight's gonna start, so he goes in too early, and he gets split from the rest of the team. I go in, and then I actually GNAR ult too soon. I obviously should have waited for this GNAR ult right here. That would have been fantastic, but it doesn't really matter. We ended up just chasing them down and with all their CC, and then just winning the team fight straight up. I don't know what's up about people thinking that GNAR isn't really a threat, but people need to respect the fact that GNAR is super strong. He does a lot of damage for being really, really tanky. So Swain obviously is a little bit too far, and then Jarvan and I get an amazing combo. This is the Narvin combo, man. It's too good. It is honestly too good, and this is what happens when you pick these two champions, right? You just create imaginary walls and then destroy people. So right after that team fight, we decide that it's time for Baron because they're all dead and it's only Teemo alive. And it was actually a really good idea for him to do that. But it's just unfortunate, for him at least, that we had pink ward so we'd be able to see it. So it was actually a really smart idea for him to do that because it's the only option for him to do. Like a chance to steal Baron, but, you know, pink ward's too OP. We decided to take bottom tower while we still have Baron buff. And my team decides to initiate the team fight before I have Big GNAR, right? So Fizz misses his ult. Janna does a nice job trying to push him in. But then Jarvan ults in. I can't really auto attack enough or even be in range because I have to walk around his ult, and also the tower. So I have to walk around. It takes too long for me to change, and we ended up slightly losing the team fight. And again, Swain for some reason doesn't respect the fact that I'm GNAR. I can stun you for 3 seconds alone by myself, and it's pretty funny. And then this is just Jinx not respecting the GNAR as well. Like, my passive W does so much damage, it is ridiculous. And then we ended up just disengaging after that. A team fight breaks out near the middle inhib while we're trying to knock on the front door and just basically end the game. Jarvan gets a really nice combo right onto the Teemo, and then because Jinx already just used Flash right there, we can just ult and then ended up killing him. And then, honestly, one of our main mistakes in this game was, I think, just going for kills too much. We could have easily probably ended this game right here. Definitely right here with Swain dead, we could have just gone back, finished off the inhib, and then finished the game right here. But we ended up just stalling a shit ton, and then just super hungry for kills because Jarvan ends up dying, and Janna ends up dying. I almost end up dying, and now it's only 2 of us to be able to take their towers. And as you can see, we ended up not taking their towers. Jinx gets a really nice ult on me, and now we have to back off. Now Baron just spawned again. Jarvan and Janna are doing a nice job of sweeping out everything, making sure there's no wards or Teemo mushrooms or anything like that. And then Sona consistently been missing ults this whole time. And then I go in, I teleport in, thinking that obviously there's going to be a huge team fight right here. And then everyone's deciding to think to back off, but I am GNAR. Like, I am super strong at this moment. I, again, do my GNAR combo, stun him for days, keep slowing the other team, and then waiting for our Lucian to catch up, and then eventually just ended up killing all of their team. Now begins the game of throws. Teemo wins this game right here with his secret passive of taunting, you know? His secret taunt passive. He might as well be Rammus right here. So obviously Lucian could have easily just focused the Nexus and we would have won the game. I was too low because I chased after the Sona. Look how low the Nexus is. Like, if we literally just focused on winning the game, we could have won the game right here. 36 minutes in, we could have won the game. But instead, we are way too greedy. Way too greedy. We tried to go for kills and we ended up just stalling the game even more than it should have. We ended up picking up another Baron, and then Sona gets caught right here trying to run away from us. We ended up getting another Baron, right? We're pushing their inhib tower. There is an open Nexus with a ton of mushrooms in front of it. guess what happens? Another Game of Throws. Like, Fizz gets another ult, misses another ult. Jarvan goes in without any backup, right? And then obviously Sejuani and then Swain does a really nice job of occupying her time. Unfortunately, I didn't turn into Big GNAR fast enough, and we ended up losing because of it. We ended up getting another dragon, our 4th dragon, and in this time I'm thinking we should probably wait for 5th dragon just to really make sure that we win the game. But then my team decides that it's not a very good option to do that. The other team respects that I'm in Big GNAR, so they obviously don't come out of their base. And then this just blew my mind right here. Lucian just straight up walks to the tower and gets himself stunned. He immediately dies on this team fight. Fizz sorta does a nice job of going in and then killing the Jinx, but like really, the Lucian was completely out of sorts right here. He was completely out of position. He was actually doing really well. His score was like, by this time, was like 16-4 or something. Yeah, he was just out of position right here, so we ended up losing the team fight. I'd say this is our biggest mistake in trying to close out the game. We try so hard in trying to push out mid lane that we completely don't even care about the side lanes, right? Like, the side lanes are sort of pushing, but we could have easily just pushed, like, gotten this to hit very safely, backed off, and then gotten some other things, right? So at the time, I'm just telling my teammate to make sure that don't engage too hard while I'm still into mini GNAR. Just make sure that I'm into Big GNAR. Fizz goes really deep right here. All we're trying to do is just get this inhibitor, right? That's all we're trying to do. And he goes a little bit way too deep, especially the fact that he has a GA. After taking down the inhib, we ended up changing focus onto the Jinx. And then obviously it wasn't very strong enough considering he got a penta. Overall, this game was just super frustrating because the best way for us to win is just wait for me to change to Big GNAR and then let me initiate. But instead, our divers are going in too deep without any backup, right? So we end up getting our 5th dragon. I see Sejuani, and in my mind, I want to get the Sejuani. But like, for some reason, the other team, like, if we picked off Sejuani, it's a 5v4, and then they have no really hard engage and no tank to really have to worry about. But then my team decides that we want to get this Baron. So we ended up getting, I think this is our 4th Baron, and we have 5 dragons. And you would think it's GG, right? It's fucking GG right here. And honestly, I just don't know what to say right here. Sona tries to engage, right? We don't punish her for missing the engage, right? Flash engaging. So we ended up going for the Teemo. Awesome passive taunt. So we try super hard trying to get this Jinx. We completely ignore the Sejuani and Swain, and we ended up losing the team fight. And we ended up losing the game because of this. So it was super frustrating, the fact that our last like 3 team fights, I wasn't in Big GNAR. Like, I wasn't able to transform to Big GNAR, and that's one of the downsides of like what I feel like trying to play GNAR, is that if you don't have a very if the team engages without you being in Big GNAR or even being close, it is very difficult to win that team fight because you don't have an amazing initiation where you can stun the other team for 3 seconds. This whole game, just a game of throws. It is very, very disappointing that I lost this game. It was smooth sailing up until the point where Jinx got like a penta, and then I guess we were just on tilt so hard that we lost the game. We have a Lucian who's 21-6. Like, really, it's so disappointing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you guys suffer the same pain I went through while playing this game. Thank you guys for coming out Dynasty. I'll see you guys next time.